Hello, my peeps. This algebra nation video will cover workbook page 65, problem dos.
So Steve is hiking down the mountain. So he's going down a mountain. He started at 2,100 feet. So his altitude, his height on the mountain, was at 2,100 feet when he began. Now, he's hiking down the mountain, going down. At the end of his hike, so when he finally finished, he was at 1,400 feet. He had an altitude of 1,400 feet. So he started at 2,100, hiked down for a while, and now he's at 1,400. Now, if the mountain can be modeled using a line with a slope of -2, that's important. How many feet across the mountain, horizontally, how many feet over has he gone? Well, let's think about what this is going to look like on a graph. So we've got our graph. We have our y and our x, right? We have our y-axis and our x-axis. And my head is in the way there. All right, I like to put my little arrows. So we're good to go there. So we know that he's starting at a height of what? Oop, come back into focus.
-10 for them.
There we go. Okay. You guys thought you were going to get out of this problem. No, you're not. All right, so we started at an altitude of 2,100 feet. Started out at an altitude of 2,100 feet. Okay. Well, we know he's hiking, and he's going down the mountain. He's going down the mountain, and the slope of it is -2. So a negative slope means we're going down as x gets bigger, y is getting smaller. And when he ends, he's at a height of 1,400. Does that mean that this value of x is 1,400? Or this value of y is 1,400? He started at a height of 2,100, and he ended at a height of 1,400. Well, that's talking about his height, how high this point is. Well, the height of that point is 1,400. He started at a point of 2,100, ended at a point that has a height of 1,400. We want to know how many feet across the mountain did he go? How many feet across? We want to know the horizontal distance. Well, he started at this point, right? It had a height of 2,100, right? And that was just our starting point. We consider that x equals 0. We want to know how many feet over has he gone? Well, he is at this point right here, 2,100 up, and it's where we started. We start at our x equals 0, and we are at a height of 2,100, and we end where? How far over are we? We're over x. That's what we're going to try to figure out. What's the height? Well, where we end up, we're 1,400 feet for our altitude. So we have 2 points on our line. Are we told anything else about this line? Yes. We are told that the slope is -2. We are told that the slope of this line is -2. M equals -2. So do I know an equation to solve for M, to solve for my slope? Yes. Your equation for your slope is on your reference sheet. M, your slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, we could do that. What else could we do? Let's think about the equation of a line. How do you set up an equation of a line? Well, it's y equals mx plus b. Okay, m is your slope, b is your y-intercept, right? M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Now, we could solve this problem either way. We could solve this by making m equals -2 and plugging in our points. Or we can work with the equation of a line. What we're going to do is do it this way. We're going to do the second way, and I just decided that. But I want you guys to also work it out this way and see if we get the same answer. See if you end up with that same value for x. So starting it this way, let's think about what we have. We know 2 different points on the line, right? We know that 2 points on the line are 0, 2,100, and x, 1,400, right? So let's work with the point that we know both values for. We know the x is 0 and the y is 2,100. So this is our x and this is our y. Well, y is equal to what? Well, 2,100 is equal to mx plus b. Well, what was m? M was told us to in the problem. -2. M is -2. What's x? Well, we know a point x. We know when y is equal to 2,100, x is 0. So -2 times 0 is m times x. Plus b, do we know what b is? Do we know what our y-intercept is? Well, let's figure it out. All right, negative 2 times 0 is 0. 2100 is equal to b. 2100 is our y-intercept. Now you might be thinking, we didn't need to do all that work, did we? And you're exactly right, because remember, the point on your graph when x is equal to 0, the point on your graph where x equals 0, where your line goes to the y-intercept, is your b. So we actually knew just from plotting this that our b would be 2100. Now let's use that information. Let's put together our line. We know that y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to, what's m? Negative 2. Negative 2x plus b, which was 2100. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Now let's look at our second point. We want to know, what is x when we have a height of 1400? What is x when we have a height of 1400? Well, when y is equal to 1400, let's plug that in. Y equals 1400 equals negative 2x. We don't know what that value of x is. We want to figure it out. Plus 2100. Well, now we're just solving for x. Let's see what we get. We're going to subtract 2100 from both sides. Let's see what happens. Those cancel out. We get negative 2x equals 1400 minus 2100. Get negative 700. Well, I'm not done. I still need to solve for x. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. And negative over negative is going to be what? A positive. 700 divided by 2 gives us 350 equals negative 2 over negative 2 cancels out. And we get x. We know the value of x. You guys, we just solved it. Let's look